And hump day for some of you. I'm Toni Valliere with Verified Investing. Thank you, Paul. And here is what's making headlines today. Uber stock spikes after the ride-sharing company announced it will buy back up to $7 billion, billion with a B, worth of company shares, and fourth quarter results that beat earnings and revenue expectations. Lyft shares soared as well after outperforming estimates. 30-year fixed mortgage rates have increased slightly from 6.8% to 6.87%, leading to a decrease in applications for a new loan and refinancing. Generac stock falls after an earnings report that didn't quite meet expectations, but it did show continued improvement. And Nvidia becomes the third largest U.S. company as it passes Google parent Alphabet and Amazon. Let's take a look at where things stand with the markets just minutes before the closing bell on this Wednesday. I'm going to give you a look right here. Oh, let's see. Oh, technology, it's working today. We've got the Dow up 133 points, 0.34%. We've got the Nasdaq up more than 170 points, up 1.13%. The S&P 500 up 41 points, 0.84%. Oil down slightly, gold down, and then Bitcoin up $2,038 on this Wednesday. So let's bring in my special guest today. We've got Paul Sampson, verified trader and crypto trader. This is our first time in the new set.
It is.
And what a difference a day makes with the markets, especially. It's like the weather, especially in the Midwest. They say wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
Right.
And boy, has it.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, like, what a pleasure to be here, especially on the quite literal hump day, right? So
hump day.
Shout out to
I said for some of you.
all the November babies, right? Thank your parents
yes,
for their Valentine's
both
Day.
of us. Mm-hmm. We know what they were doing.
Exactly. But yeah, let's just jump right on into
doing?
it. Yeah. In other news, so looking at the Nasdaq, we started off yesterday pretty much, the market celebrated Valentine's Day a day early with a red day on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then kind of had that recovery today, right? So really nothing out of the ordinary there, just so far a bounce. Obviously, we've had, some new all-time highs pretty much across the board. For anybody that's looking for a potential pullback here on the Nasdaq, I'd be looking for maybe a pullback to these regions here. Otherwise, we're just pretty much ranging here along the highs. I've got this two spots here highlighted, pretty much just below like $17,000, maybe a 4 or 5% pullback, but nothing too crazy, and pretty much just kind of recovered up for all of the day before's losses, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, big turnaround. All right, some of the big market movers have been Lyft, Uber, we've got Zillow, Robinhood, Nvidia. Yep. What have you been following? Anything you want to pull up?
Yeah, I mean, I could pull up all of those, honestly, but we're going to take a look at Uber here. So one thing about, a lot of these, longer term and longer time frames, I guess you could look at some of these, trades on, is that, when you have a pattern like this, just a very simple outlook on this. Usually I'm pulling up the range data and some of the averages and things, but this actually was a peculiar setup here. And basically, I was just looking at this major, like, rounded bottom, which you'll see a lot of times, and it's pretty much just an accumulation area. The price
We're talking
action,
stocks, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I mean, stocks, crypto, whatever.
Rounded bottom.
Yeah,
sorry.
Valentine's Day. The humor is just going to roll off.
Yes. Sorry.
So we had a nice rounded bottom here, in lieu of the Valentine's Day holiday, and you did have a breakout area here. And what this is that you'll have basically a neckline similar to a cup and handle or an inverse head and shoulders, or anything of that nature. And essentially, you'll look for a breakout and a retest of that region. And the target I have at the moment, I mean, we're pretty much into all-time highs at the moment. And one tool, not that it's the end-all be-all, but you can use it for, is the Fib extension, so Fibonacci extension, just like you can use for retracements. And for me, I'm targeting up to, just like we look for the gold pocket at the 0.618 to the 0.65, you can actually get extended targets as well to the upside at the 1.618, 2.618, and so on. And basically that just means it's another 100% from the breakout to that region. So pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, I would imagine Uber's probably on its way to $90.
Yeah, no doubt. And there was another stock you wanted to bring up, Coin?
Yeah, well, let's Nvidia real quick too.
Yes.
That has obviously just been everybody's either nightmare or the money maker, I guess. So
it just keeps going.
It just keeps going, and honestly, this is one of the craziest stock outlooks that I've ever seen. And I'm used to the crypto market where we get blow off tops. Obviously, you get that in the stock market as well. But for here, specifically, you can even see where the price action is kind of trending to the upside, and it's kind of curved almost. this last jump has just been a straight rocket ship to the upside. And I mean, if this isn't or close to a blow off top scenario, you know, I don't know what is. But I did want to highlight the same deal. I pulled a Fibonacci extension here just from the previous swing high to low, and this is back in like 2020, I believe, all the way to the COVID low, I believe. And you can see that the same deal is when we're looking at Uber, when looking for an extended target, you can target these 1.618 extensions. There's one at the 2.618. There's other fib extensions as well. Those are just like the major ones. We can see how well this one was respected here actually just a few weeks back. And then as soon as it broke it, we just ran it up straight basically to the next one, which is right where we're at now, about 740.
What do you see coming next? What are you kind of reading into this?
I mean, if we're not going to get a pullback.
I know you don't have a crystal ball,
yeah.
but yeah.
If we start to live above that region, you know, I imagine we're probably going to go up into, you know, the 3 spot, which is, you know, I would imagine. Let's just take a peek at it. Bell just closed there, it looks like, which is perfect. But yeah, I mean, if this continues any higher, which, like I said, at this level, I mean, you got to imagine that anybody that's looking to enter this, I mean, this is such a high risk at this point. It's impulse so much. You're talking about 831 would be the next level above that as far as that would go. But like I said, I mean, this is a pretty aggressive move. You know, if it was me, I'd probably be taking profits heavily. Looking for shorts is probably a little tough in the area itself because we can still keep blowing through. But when you start to have a pullback and then you make some lower highs and things like that to get some confirmations on some potential downtrend creating, that's what you'd be looking for. But yeah, we're definitely hitting some major targets, as well as, you know, seeing all new all-time highs, you know, reached with all the major indices as well. So it's just a pretty crazy ride across the board.
Keeping you on your toes, right?
Exactly. So I got, I did want to touch on coin as well. So we've had earnings season, right, coming across everywhere.
Yes.
I believe, don't quote me, but I'm almost positive that Coinbase has earnings being reported tomorrow.
Okay.
And if I can find it here, somehow it's missing, and that's okay. Maybe we'll have to skip it for today.
Well, I'll tell you, you're so good with technology. I'm glad it's you, because if this didn't work for me, I mean, I'd have to dance or do something.
All good. All right. Well, either way, yeah, I had the Coinbase chart pulled up, and let me see if I can find it one more time. Sorry about the delay.
Just
here.
make it up.
Yeah, it's all about. It's just going straight up to 200, I believe, is where we're going to be looking for it, right? All right. There we go. Nicely done.
Okay.
And it's even set up for me. Perfect.
Ta-da!
All right. So Coinbase had a substantial pullback, and this was, you know, a week or two ago. Potentially, I think maybe even that just at the beginning of the year, so I guess last month, right? And you had this major runoff, almost to $200, and then of this swing high to low, we had a gold pocket coming in here. I did mark out a high time frame average of price, so similar like the 50-day, the 200-day. There's averages for like last month, last quarter. They tend to get hit pretty at a high consistency. Anyways, it kind of gave us a little zone that I was looking for. We did pull back, kind of just touched off of that 0.618. So once again, those golden ratio, golden pockets. We got a really big bounce. This is a 40% move to the upside. So what that tells me is one thing, we came into another pretty much key target up here, I believe, unless it just blew through it. But if we pull a new gold pocket here, and bear with me there, got all my settings changed for you so I can look crazy on the live stream. There we go. All right. We've got a gold pocket from now the high to low that we just basically just went gold pocket to gold pocket. So normal retracement to the downside, classic retracement to the upside. For me tomorrow, with earnings coming in at the same time, plus the market had such an update today, I would probably say that we may see a downward move here. But either way, it's a key inflection point that we're looking at right now, that if we start to live above here, we're going to challenge up into those highs. Otherwise, this would be a key area to take profit or even look for a short here on coin. Obviously, stopping out above this region here. So pretty interesting.
Have your eyes on that tomorrow. And then, of course, we've got to touch on Bitcoin before we say goodbye.
We've got to touch on Bitcoin. All right. So, yeah, last couple weeks that we were even on this show together, we were looking at pretty much this little.
There's been some changes, that's for sure. I know that.
Has.
Yeah. Oh, I know. A new studio.
That's
You
right.
got to get used to it.
That's the dance. But so Bitcoin obviously topped out with the ETF news right at $49,000. Had a nice pullback. Remember, we were talking about this time frame right here, where it was really just kind of putting everybody to sleep. It has quite done the opposite now, right?
It's awake now.
We were looking for a pullback, retracement from this overall high to low into the 0.5 at the time. So this was 50% of this overall move here. And for me, I was looking at a possible rejection here that would take us down into the $35,000 area. For me as well, if this level was claimed, I was looking to challenge up pretty substantially. We did have the overall macro gold pocket that we were looking at that was coming in. Basically, the lower level of it was right here. The high side of it was actually tapped yesterday. It was 50,300 and some change. And then since then, we've ran it up, and we've just front ran my next target here at 50,000 or 52,200,
yeah.
which is once again another high time frame average, just a little mean reversion play. So it's once again at a key point on the chart. It's at some pretty high levels here. We're looking across at other assets making all new all-time highs. Could we go higher? Yes. For me, it's 57,000 if we start living above. So it's one of those things. It's really just a level by level at this point.
Sure.
I am looking at this region as a major target zone, though, for a potential pullback once again. So you've got to have to be cautious of that. Anybody that's entering the market now, you really do have to be aware of what you're coming into, with everything being hundreds of % up in just a matter of a few weeks. The reason I'm looking at 57, though, for the next major target is if I just pull basically the 2021 overall volume range here. We can see that there's a naked point of control, which is the highest volume target for that certain time frame. So for the all of year of 2021, $57,000 was where the most transactions took place. Ever since we closed that time frame, we've never revisited that area. So it is a point of control on the chart. It is naked because we haven't retested it. And what we did here is that we re-entered this old range and basically had a perfect back test of flipping basically resistance into support. And in theory, on side with that $52,000 target, if we clear that level, the next one is $57,000.
I do love this measuring tool. And if I'm correct, I think it's been about a month, if not exactly 1 month, since the ETF was approved.
Just about,
around that, just about. Yeah. Before we go, is there anything that you would like to promote? You got a lot going on here. I know you've got, 2 shows at least? Tell everybody what shows you have and what days.
For sure, yeah. So Saturday I do the Crypto Insider. For anybody that's interested, I cover all the pretty much just straight crypto. It launches on noon on Saturday. I recorded probably about an hour before that, so it's pretty live time. And then as well as the bottom line with Ben Poole. We do kind of cover stocks and crypto for the week, little weekly recap. Then we're going to be starting potentially a little happy hour show coming up soon, which will be to end the week on Fridays. Maybe Gareth and I will sit and sip some cocktails and
what could happen?
Go over the rest of the week.
What could go wrong?
You can join us if you like.
Or right. That sounds fun. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I love having you on. I appreciate it very much. And thank you for watching Trading the Close on this Valentine's Day, or as some call it, Hump Day. We will be back tomorrow with Gary Cardone. So make it a great rest of the day. We will see you tomorrow, Thursday.